The counteroffensive launched by the Ukrainian army continues at full speed. According to the latest information from the front line, we see that the Ukrainian army is advancing in many regions. Russia is fighting the toughest battle in its history. According to the latest reports, the Ukrainian army continues its counteroffensive operations in at least 4 sectors of the front line. Let's start a map analysis report where we analyze the latest developments on the front line, the Pioneer reports. You can subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss detailed map analysis and up-to-date reports on the Russia-Ukraine war. You can also support our team who prepared this work by using the Super Thanks button. Let's start today's map report from the region north of the city of Bakhmut. The Ukrainian army's strategy of encircling Bakhmut is in full swing. Ukrainian troops are creating an intense pressure corridor on the flanks of Bakhmut, dealing heavy blows to the Russian army. The Russian army does not want the Ukrainian army to advance on the flanks of Bakhmut. However, this is not possible at the moment. In recent days, the Russian army has launched an offensive in an area around Zaliznyanske, an area where the Ukrainian army has increased its attacks. The area you can see on the map is to the west of Zaliznyanske, as represented in blue because it was liberated as part of the counteroffensive. According to the latest reports from the region, the Russian military launched an offensive here without success. Russian troops seeking to clear Ukrainian positions in area were forced to retreat, suffering heavy losses. The developments here are of great importance for the future of Bakhmut. As you know, the encirclement north of Bakhmut requires the capture of Yahidny and Berkhivka by the Ukrainian troops. Berkhivka and Yahidny are located about 10 kilometers from the area we just mentioned. Therefore, Russia has to maintain its dominance around Berkhivka and Yahidny. However, it does not seem possible for Russian troops to maintain this area of control for the long time. In positions in the city center of Bakhmut, the struggle between Russian and Ukrainian troops continues unabated. According to the latest reports of the 2nd Assault Company of the 24th Battalion of the Ukrainian and 2nd Battalion in the region, fierce clashes continue around the city center. According to the latest reports of the company, Ukrainian troops have reached the final stage of the plan to capture the city. Although the division broadcasts developments in the region daily on its Telegram channel, it applies a protocol of maximum secrecy to ensure the successful conclusion of the operation. However, the claims of some local sources are noteworthy. According to the latest reports, the Ukrainian troops moving in the direction of the city center of the Bakhmut have made an advance of approximately 750 meters. In Klishchivka, the area related to the southern siege of Bakhmut, we see that the advance has exceeded 1,000 meters. In addition, Russian sources about Klishchivka also give bad news for Russia. According to the latest reports from Russian sources, the recent fighting in Klishchivka has reached an extraordinary level. Allegedly, the clashes in the area have now turned into residential clashes. The Ukrainian group Bakhmut Demons, which operates in the region, have put forward a more remarkable claim. According to the latest claims of the group called Bakhmut Demons, Ukrainian troops have already entered Klishchivka. Describing the ongoing struggle as a cleansing, the group claims that the Ukrainian flag will soon be flying in the city center. Further south, the direction of Kurdymovivka, the Ukrainian army's offensive continues unabated. According to the latest information shared with the public by the Ukrainian Defense Ministry spokesperson Hanna Maliar, Ukrainian troops have made a progress about 1,000 meters in the direction of Kurdymovivka. It is possible to say that if the Ukrainian troops do not slow down this pace, the region will soon be under Ukrainian control. Let's take a look at the latest developments on the Zaporizhia front line. As you know, Ukrainian troops have recently launched a powerful offensive in the direction of Rivnopol. According to the latest reports, the Ukrainian army managed to hold onto the positions around Rivnopol. Local sources claim that there have been numerous clashes in the area and Russian troops have suffered heavy losses. Ukrainian troops are also advancing unabated in the Volodin region in the south of the region. Behind the Zaporizhia front line, there are also quite remarkable developments. As you know, the Ukrainian army's offensive strategy towards the region, attacks aimed at destroying the Russian fortifications behind the front line, are of a great importance. When we look behind the Zaporizhia front line, we see that Melitopol and Tokmak regions, which are strategically important and one of the closest major cities to the front. According to recent reports, there have been numerous explosions in the region as a result of the Ukrainian army's attacks. There is no clear data on the points where the explosions took place. However, based on previous Ukrainian attacks, we can say that the most of these explosions took place in ammunition depots, military facilities, or supply lines. In fact, the primary goal of the counteroffensive on Zaporizhzhia front line is to reach Berdyansk and Mariupol. In this way, the Ukrainian army is trying to break the Russian lines. According to the latest reports, which the latest advance in the Zaporizhzhia front line, Ukrainian troops are now about 1.5 kilometers closer to Berdyansk. However, we can say that a little more time is needed for the liberation of Berdyansk. According to the latest reports, Polohi, which is considered part of Zaporizhzhia front line, has also seen notable developments. According to the latest information from local sources, the city of Polohi is being heavily shelled by the Ukrainian artillery. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian heavy artillery shelled the railroad track in Polohi, which are used as supply lines for Russian troops fighting on the front line north of Polohi. In addition, an ammunition depot with a large quantity of ammunition in the area was blown up after the artillery strikes. The task of Russian troops in the north of Polohi will become even more difficult in the coming days. As you know, the city of Donetsk is very important for Ukraine. It is a war-renowned city with a great cultural heritage. However, this situation remained a bit behind the scene with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Ukrainian army has recently increased its pressure on the city of Donetsk. The Ukrainian artillery, which has gained a great deal of experience during the war, is carrying out successful operations. According to the latest information we have received from the region, Ukrainian artillery hit and blew up a Russian military facility north of Donetsk. Allegedly, the Russian presence stations at the facility was heavily affected by this attack. As we mentioned in our report, the Ukrainian army's counteroffensive seems to be quite successful so far. We think it is possible to say that more Ukrainian territory will be liberated from Russian occupation in coming days. What do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian army's counteroffensive is going successfully? Will Russia lose Bakhmut? Do you expect further developments on the Zaporizhzhia front line? We value your opinion. Please share them with us.